Hello, I'm Wendy Freer from Ashby Museum. I'm trying to track down some of the lesser known castles of Leicestershire. It's all to do with a special exhibition we've got on at the moment about the castles of Leicestershire, and in fact I'm going to set off and find some of them now. So if you want to see castles where you never thought there were any, just come with me. But before we go, let me tell you about a competition that we're running. Now you'll need to get onto Twitter to get the clues and solve the which castle is which quiz. And if you win, you could win this cracking castles jigsaw. Good, eh? Okay, well there's more details about that on our website. But let's go off and find some of these castles. Come on. We're starting here in Hinckley. And according to my information, the castle was just here. So let's go and have a look. Well, this is the Memorial Gardens, and there's a likely looking mound over there. Let's have a closer look. Oh yes, look at this. The moat's still clearly visible. And these massive ramparts. Oh, and look at this. Part of the moat's still got water in it. Well, now we've climbed up to the top and we're looking down into this impressive bailey. The moat has unfortunately gone, but when it was built in the 11th century, it would have looked something like this. Not much is known about its history. Some say it was built soon after the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Others think it may have been 100 years later, during the war between King Stephen and Queen Matilda. Some sources say it was built by Hugh de Grantmesnil. Others say it belonged to Robert de Bossu, Earl of Leicester. It existed at a time of lawlessness, when many castles were built by robber barons who ravaged the countryside. Well, now we've come to Sapcote, near to Hinckley, where we're looking for another earthwork Motte and Bailey castle built in the 11th century. According to the OS map, it's supposed to be in this field somewhere, but I can't see much sign of it. Let's have a walk over to the edge there. Well, there's some sort of mound and dip in the ground here, but doesn't look very promising. Now, over in that far corner, the ground rises a bit. Let's go and explore that a bit more. Now, you probably can't see this very well on the camera, but there are lots of mounds and dips in the ground here. So I think we've found the site of the castle. Can't really make out where the motte would have been. I'm standing on what I think is the highest mound of several, so maybe this is the site of the motte. Gosh, there's a board over there. Let's just go and have a look and see what it says. Ah, now this is what we're looking for, some interpretation. Now I can see that yes, we have found the site of the castle, and there you can see where the motte would have been and part of the moat, which has now been filled in. And over there, where we first looked, was the site of a later medieval moated platform. It says that there's 3 arms of the moat, or rather faint remains of them, that can be seen in the field. And that must have been what we saw right at the beginning. This would have been a very large manorial complex when it was in use. But the motte, and presumably the rest of the castle, was levelled in 1778. So it hasn't been around for quite a while. Well, now we're at Earl Shilton, not far away, and we're in search of another 11th century Motte and Bailey castle here in Hall Fields. Now, there's something over there, although it looks suspiciously like a folly. Let's have a closer look. Yes. There's no mistaking that as a modern construction, but you see behind it there's the unmistakable mound and even the ditches that would have been some sort of moat. So there's quite a lot left of this castle. This is another one that's supposed to have belonged to the Earl of Leicester. Let's climb up onto the top and have a look round. Okay, I'm going to, if you can stand it, I'm going to take you on a 360-degree panorama around the top of this castle. And now we'll just make our way back down again. Well, finally we've come to Shackerstone, and this is the Ashby Canal that we're standing beside. You can just catch a glimpse of Shackerstone Castle over there in the distance. Let's see if we can get a better look at it. Yes, unmistakable, look at that. A flat-topped motte surrounded by a wide ditch. And in fact, if we move a bit further along the canal, we can get a better look at the other side of it, where you can see more clearly the ditch and a counterscarp bank. Now, would you believe it? During the Second World War, it was used as an air raid shelter. And that's about all we know about this particular castle. There are lots more castle remains like this all over Leicestershire. If you want to know more about them and where to find them, why not come down to our exhibition at Ashby Museum? It's on until the 27th of August, so get your skates on.